Hello, how are you? Welcome to the show. I'm eating a flurry. Correction. I ate a McFlurry, and it was delicious. And I feel good. I feel better than I've felt in weeks and weeks and weeks. Thank you to all you who have been keeping up with and praying for my sickness. I don't want to jinx it, but I think I'm through the woods. I think I'm all better. Hey, Fab Daddy, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Pardon me, but that was good. ATL Transparency. Good to see you, my friend. Bad cough? Yep, still got the bad cough, but everything else is gone. Now I've just got a congestion coming out of my head. And I think I could probably fill up a 5-gallon bucket with that stuff. I have no idea where it's all coming from. But I'm through the sick part. I'm not sick anymore, so thank God for that. And I thought it wasn't ever going to end. It seemed like I just kept getting it over and over and over, but really it was the same sickness. It was just coming in waves, you know. And I'd feel better one day. I'd think, well, good, I'll get up and do some work. By about lunchtime, I'd be running a fever again. And it just wouldn't stop. It kept going like that. But this time, 2 days, no fever. I think I'm through. I think I finally actually kicked its ass. Take that. Slow ass kicking, that's what we call it in the South. Slow ass kicking. It took a while, but we got it done. Still can't sing tonight, so there won't be any of that. But I do have this lovely thing behind me. You see that? That's my latest acquisition, and I'm tickled as a schoolgirl about it. 'Cause it's lovely. Better. That's my baby. Look at that. Look at it. You just look at it. Just look at it. It's beautiful. And it sounds so good. Walter Davis, welcome to the show. Come on in. Take your shoes off. Set a spell. Stream Elements isn't a person. It's a bot. But thank you for saying hello anyway. That's just a little reminder. It pops up every now and then. It's built in. Next is a double stack. Well, I have a double stack. That's just half of it. I've got the whole thing. And I got a crate amp that's about the same size. Nowhere near as good, though. That thing is so articulate. I took it out Saturday night at the show. And it's so articulate and it's so expressive, you know, like it knows, it seems to know when I'm trying to push or when I'm trying to pull back or when I'm trying to over exaggerate a note or if I'm trying to create a certain atmosphere with my separation of notes. It just seems to know, you know, and it does it beautifully. No problems. Loud, no trouble. I mean, it cut right through the mix. No problems whatsoever. That is the best amp I've ever owned in my life. I'll say that. I played a bunch of them. I played Fenders. I used to have 2 full stack Fenders that stayed behind me. They were called Fender Rock Pro 1000s. If you know what those are, they're 100-watt heads with a whole stack. And I had 2 of them. And 2 of them ain't as good as that one. The frankincense I had was empty. It leaked out in the glove box. Pick some up on Sunday and send it out, Jake. Thank you, sir. That's entirely up to you, but I appreciate you. And I will accept graciously. It's a snowy California. Enjoy your heat, Jake. It is hot today. I am sweating a little bit. I just got inside. I just walked in the door like 10 minutes ago and got everything set up and jumped online because I was a little late this afternoon because we had some extra stuff we needed to do at work. Get well, ATL. ATL, are you feeling bad too? Oh, I see it. I got something now too. Well, I hope you feel better, buddy. I'm sorry. I know what that's like. I just went through it. Yeah, but it is kind of nice. It was a nice day today. It wasn't too hot, but it was not cold at all. It did chilly up a little bit when the sun went down, but just a little. Still wasn't like 2-layer wearing weather. I still was just wearing my jacket. Whereas last week I had to put on 3 layers to even leave the house. Tonight I'm in short sleeves and just my leather jacket. So that's the way I like to ride. Nice and cool. Don't get too hot out there. The bad thing about riding a motorcycle is if you want to be warm while riding, you need to wear 3 layers of thick clothing. That'll keep you warm while you're going, for the most part, except for your fingers. But the problem is when you stop, you can't undress everywhere you go. And so you're just going to be hot or cold, one or the other. Record heat in the south for February and snowing 1,000 feet elevation everywhere in California. Wow. Caucasian Sasquatch, what's up, my brother? My cuz, my friend, my whatever you want to call yourself. I call you Sasquatch. Welcome to the show. Hey, folks, I'm producing a live show currently, so I won't be chatty. Okay? Did you chat to tell us you wouldn't be chatting? And what live show? Is it your live show or somebody else's? I'm glad you're here, buddy. That's how it works, Jake. Well, you know, just curious. Could have been anything. I hate these new glasses. I need to get some more. These ain't cutting it. No matter what I do, they always feel like they're dirty. I can't clean them enough. They still got spots on them. The Constitution State is fundraising for Manuel Mata. Manuel Mata. I don't know who that is, but good luck. Or he can ignore and lurk. Nah. Long as he's here. I've been missing you there, Sasquatch. I hadn't talked to you in a while. Feels like forever. You don't call, you don't write, no smoke signals or nothing. Look, I'm putting up smoke signals as we speak. Mr. Mata has been a target. He shows corrupt officials. Oh, okay. Did you hear about James O'Keefe getting ousted from his own company? Project Veritas kicked him out right after the biggest story they ever did. Curious that. It's almost like Big Pharma got to him. But I'm just speculating. Who knows what happened? Maybe they're just happened to be kicking out the guy who just got them the best story they ever had and fundraised it. Maybe it was just his time to go. Who knows? Kind of strange. April, welcome to the show, baby. Hey, Jake and chat. Much love. Where you guys at tonight? Are y'all eating out at Gators? Turtles on the half shell? Turtle power? I don't know about Project Veritas. I don't either, but there's some shady stuff they were doing. That's all I know. Shady, shady, shady. Not the company, the board members were treating the guy who founded the company in a shady way. I know that they do hard-hitting journalism and they do stories that other people won't touch. How they go about it, I don't know. I don't know if they're ethical or whatever. I've never looked into them that deeply. I've seen a couple of their stories. I liked it. I was grateful there were people out there doing journalism. But again, I don't know a whole lot about their organization or how they conduct themselves. But what I do know is that the way they treated James O'Keefe was not good. It was very shifty, and they shouldn't have done it that way. Sorry I'm late. We are at Dwight Eisenhower's Elvis tribute right now. Uh-huh. Go, Cat, go. Getting ready for the second half. It's just as long as the first half, I promise. Because it's, half. But I'm glad you guys are having a good time. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you take lots of pictures and share. It can't be longer if it's the second half. It's exactly as long as the first half. That would make a whole. Love Dwight. He's great. But he's no Elvis. I used to know a couple of Elvis impersonators. They're weird cats, man. Go all out to look like somebody you're not. Strange. Of course, I've been there. An encore would make it longer. Yes. But then that would be more than a half, wouldn't it? That'd be like 2/3. So far, we're having fun. It's over at 9:30. Okay. All righty then. I probably should have came on at 9:30. Far be it from me to stand in the way. Part of the second half. Well, if it's part of the second half, and it wasn't in the first half, then the second half isn't half. It's more. Branded, hadn't seen you in a while. I was thinking about you last night. I saw something you had posted, a video or something, and I thought, well, I hadn't seen that guy in a while. Maybe I'll drop by and drop him a line, and then I got sidetracked and forgot about it. But I'm glad you're here. Welcome to the show. Come on in. I've been away for a bit, but here I is. LOL. Well, we're glad to have you back. We missed you. And you missed a lot of stuff. We've been through a lot since you've been gone. I had COVID. I bought that. Look at that. This is my baby. I dare you to do better. I'm so excited. Getting ready for his next show comeback. April's talking about a Elvis impersonator. I just started singing again yesterday and posting some songs. How's that going? You getting lots of views? I've never been branded. Nor have I. But I hear that it's exhilarating. He's been branded 64 times. I wish I had time to set that thing up and play it for you. I'll let you hear what it sounds like. But have many bums from hot meals, many burns from hot metal, many burns from hot metal. Well, that's the same thing as being branded, kinda. Less intentional, same integrity. It's ubiquitous, the sicklessness. Got a copyright claim right off the rip. Yeah, that happens to me a lot. I have to be very careful. Can't play covers. I'm sorry. There's some you can get away with, but you don't know which ones. And you don't know who owns what, and it's probably Universal Group. Or something like that. Sonny is with us. Yay! Hey, Sonny. See, you need to have another kid named Rainy. Sonny and Rainy. They'd be fighting all the time. You could have they could grow up to be cops and solve crimes. Roam from town to town being Sonny and Rainy and solving crimes. Like Miami Vice, but in Kissimmee. Kissimmee Vice. Sonny and Rainy. What do you think? Okay, y'all, let's start. Much love. I said, see, CC Rider. I said, see what you have done now. See. I'm branded by the Lord, the law, and my wife. Tagged for life, 100%. That's terrifying that you have that much commitment, but I like it. Or Buff, welcome to the show. Welcome back. April, are you not going to be with us anymore just because you're seeing an Elvis guy? Turn the camera around. Let him see us. Hand the phone to him. Say, hey, talk to this guy. Welcome back, Orb. How you doing? How are things? How's the weather? What's it like where you're at? Is it Orby or Puffy or both? Used to be my stage name back in the day. I actually like it. It's a cool name. Branded. You know what my nickname used to be? Slow Hand. But then I realized there was an album called Slow Hand, so I stopped using it. Didn't want to be accused of trying to rip anybody off. I don't have much of a nickname personality anyway. Some people can pull that off. I just ain't never been the guy. My name's already a 4-letter word. I don't know how much worse it can get. Kind of a play on my name, Mark. How so? Oh, I see it. Yeah, I had to look at it from that way. He's not marked. Marked. He's branded. Marked. I was nicknamed by Rico Suave. Rico Suave. Never do that again, says everybody. Hello, Fuzzy. I'm doing good. Being a little busy. Did you just call me Fuzzy? No, you didn't. You called Fab Daddy Fuzzy. Okay. All right. I stand relaxed. I'm in a weird mood. Sorry. Has anybody watched the new Star Trek Picard? And what do you think? Do tell. The first 2 seasons sucked balls in a very bad way. This one, actually pretty good so far. My wife came up with it. I thought it was cool. Fuzzy is Caucasian. I got you. Okay. Cool. Hope everyone is doing well. We're doing good, Brandon. Hope you're doing well. You need to play some of that rock and roll music for me. Spot on. What do you think of my toy that I just got? Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I can't tell you. I keep saying it over and over again. I know you're getting tired of hearing me talk about it, but I'm excited. It's the first time I've ever owned a big boy amp in real life. I've always played through other people's big boy amps if I ever had the opportunity to do so. It's never been mine. That one's mine. It is sweet. I played billiards again today for the 47th time with my friends. They're standing in the corner and go, that was a good shot. I've never played billiards. I played all kinds of 8-ball and 9-ball and all that stuff, but never billiards. Not sure I understand the game exactly. Just regular old bar pool. Synced 8-ball. That's all I've ever done. And I ain't that good at it, to be honest with you. So I tend to not do things I'm not good at, so I don't do a lot of pool shooting. But the real reason is because I dated a girl in college who was like a pool shark. She could like make all these calculated, she was very serious. Always playing pool. And always wanted me to play against her and always whipped my ass. And that's not good for your complex, folks. When your girlfriend beats your ass in pool every day and then you're supposed to be the guy. It sucks. So anyway, I got a bad taste for playing pool. I have an old Peavey that works when it wants. LOL. I hear you. I've owned many of those. I've got one myself, an old Peavey tube amp outside, a classic. It pales in comparison to what this thing can do. This thing is so articulate and so sharp and so expressive and so meaty. You know what I mean? It's just there. It's present, and it don't take a lot of volume to get all that out there. And no crackling and popping, and no every time you move the wrong way, the spring in the reverb tank makes that sound through the PA. None of that. It's got built-on reverb, but it don't make any noise. It's a lovely, lovely experience to play through that thing. If you get a chance to purchase a real old-school Marshall, not a newer one, get the old ones, the ones that are hand-wired tube amp. If you get the opportunity to buy one, I implore you to do so. You want a tube amp bad? Yes, there's nothing like it. Nothing in the world. You just can't make that kind of magic with a pedal. It just don't work. Yeah, this one's got 6 tubes in it, and I believe they're the 6L6s. I might be wrong about that. I hadn't looked. But it's got 6 tubes on the preamp side and 6 tubes on the power amp side. So she's a beaut, and it has a switch in the back. It's 100 watts, but I can drop it down to 50, and I don't see any reason to go above 50. A 50-watt tube amp is plenty of power. So I'll just have it on 50. But I can pop it up to 100 and blow the doors off the building if I want to. And that's pretty sweet. Warm and fat for sure. Yes, sir, they do sound like that. But the thing is like string separation. If you got a good set of pickups on your rig and you play, and you can hear every note clearly, even if it's distorted, it's crystal clear. And when you do a run, every little nuanced thing you do, it picks up on it, and you can hear it clearly. And I'm telling you, a smaller amp, like my normal amp, my Johnson that I use, which is a 50 watt or 60 watt solid state amp, and I've been using it for years, and it sounds great. It's a great little amp. It can't do what this one does. You know, you can hear that one struggling when I get up to a certain volume. This thing just breezes through it like it's nothing. Just, I wish I had it hooked up so I could play it for you. It is so good. And it really does make me play better because I can hear what I'm doing. And I can feel it too. Because, you know, when you play at volume, you can feel the music because it's so loud that it changes things. You know what I mean? Do I like humbucker pickups? Yes, sir. Absolutely. I'm a partial to PAFs, which are the patent pending Gibson pickups from the 60s and 70s. And 59 on. I like the PAFs. I want a set of what do you call those things? P90s. I want a set of P90s to put on my hollow body, and I think that'd be a good sound. But P90s are kind of noisy. They got that hum, so I got to do a lot of shielding and stuff like that to use them. But I think they'll make a great sound for my hollow body. But I have a Les Paul copy that I've been playing. That's my workhorse, and that thing sounds phenomenal. And it's got old, I don't know what brand they are, but they're humbuckers, and they're kind of muddy. Naturally, they're deep. They got a lot of bass, not a lot of high end. So I got to crank the highs on this thing so you can hear them, because these pickups just don't make a lot of high end. But they do have a good attack when you get it up to volume and you start playing. Man, it's punchy. But my other guitar that I play is a 60 Strat. And that thing is just all kinds of personality and attitude. You're a Fender player, aren't you there, Brandon? So you know what I'm talking about. I have a Telly and a Strat. My Telly's a newer one, but my Strat's an older one. And man, it sounds delicious. And it is a HSS setup, which means it has a humbucker in the back, an old 60s PAF, and then 2 Player Series American Strat pickups in the front. And I can do just about anything with it. I can play heavy metal, I can play blues, I can play country or bluegrass, whatever. Yeah, I like my Telly too. I love Telly can do something no other guitar can do. It's got that bite, that growl, you know. No other guitar can do that as well as a Telly can. And when I want to play chicken picking, I go for the Telly every time. Any kind of leads that have a lot of fast moving, I go for my Telly because it just sounds better than anything. But if I want to be delicious and bluesy and play a lot of fat, long leads, it's my Strat. But if I want to play straight up rock and roll, I play my Les Paul copy. And it's made by a company called Badwater Axe. It used to be called something else, but I can't remember what it is. But this company bought them, and now they're called Badwater. And it's an Axe guitar, AXE. And it's a pretty nice guitar. Matter of fact, I can show it to you. Hang on a second. That's my workhorse. What'd you think? I would like an electric acoustic guitar. I was thinking a smooth talker. Are you a heavy player or a articulate light player? Sorry you're getting a headache, buddy. Don't run off just because you feel bad. If you want a good quality, good playing acoustic electric guitar, allow me to recommend a Stratacoustic. Stratacoustic is made in Mexico, and Squire makes one. You can get one pretty cheap from Squire. It's got a fiberglass back. It's about that thin. It's got the exact same neck as a Strat does, Stratocaster, but it's an acoustic. It's very thin, very light, and very good sounding. It's a great guitar. I own one. I use it all the time. It don't sound very good sitting around just playing in the house, but if you plug it in, it's got a great pickup system, and it's got great EQ on it. Battery powered. I'm telling you, those are great little guitars. So if you get a chance to get a Stratacoustic, an older one, I can't vouch for the newer one with the new pickup system in it. It's got some kind of blending technology where it's got a real pickup and then the piezo pickup, and you can blend the two, and I don't know anything about it. But the older ones are great. Some of these new guitars have many different pickups. That's true. I would like a Les Paul, but no financial way. I hear you, brother. Me too. I want a Les Paul if I can have a 59 Les Paul, because that's the one that's going to be the one I want to play. And there ain't no way I could ever afford that thing. Depends on your mood, on how you play. I hear you. Takamine is a great acoustic electric. Yes, it is. Anything Takamine makes is good. But the higher end stuff, the one you get what you pay for, but they got some great high end stuff. I mean, they really do. And they've knocked it out of the park this year with the new stuff. I'm a Takamine man. I would much prefer own a Takamine than anything else. I don't particularly happen to own one at the time, but they've got a thin line acoustic called the G series. G is in Garth. It's not a Garth Brooks guitar, but it is called a G series. That's a fabulous thin line Takamine guitar. It looks good and it sounds incredible. So, but it's about $650, somewhere in that range. Do you know of Reverend Peyton and his big darn band? He has a lot of cool guitars. I've never heard of him. I'll listen, but I can't look at this phone and type. It's starting to grind. I'm sorry, Brandon. Well, thank you for trying anyway. Smooth talkers are made in Africa. I've never heard of one. It sounds good without power. Well, if you can afford it, go for it. Some people are like me and can't afford expensive guitars. I've been playing on $50 pawn shop guitars most of my life. And I do have a few guitars that have some dollar value. For example, that guitar I just showed you, after I've done the work to it that I've done to it, because it ain't original, it's just a body. All my guitars are platforms now. I do a lot of work to them, a lot of fret work, a lot of neck work, and a lot of electronic work. So all of my guitars that I use on stage right now are all valued at about between $600 and $1,000 in value. not because of what they are, but because of what I've done to them, which you can't resell anyway. That's just your own personal stuff. If you were to go sell it, it would go for the value of the guitar it is. And that one's about a $400 guitar, and then plus what I've done to it. My Strat, I built it. It's like a Frankenstein. It's built out of 60s parts. It's got a Washburn body, but everything else is 60s Strat. And the reason I went with the Washburn body is because, number one, it's made out of mahogany, and number two, it's a lot heavier than a Strat body. But it looks like a Strat body. And I put a real thick block in it, real heavy brass block to go under the bridge where the strings go through. So it's full of resonance, and it's got a great sound, and it's got all American electronics in it, and locking tuners, and it's just a great little guitar. And it's probably worth $1,000 now. And I could sell it for $1,000 because it plays every bit as good, and it's got the name Fender on it. My acoustic guitars, I have a 1970 custom Hummingbird that is beat all up, and it's just beautiful. It's just wonderful, but it's hard to play. So it's just for looks. If I'm going to be getting my picture taken a lot, I'll use that guitar. But if I'm going to use a guitar for functionality, my Strat acoustic goes everywhere I go. And that is, it looks just like a Strat, but it's an acoustic guitar, and it sounds great, and it plays like an electric. But it sounds like an acoustic. Best of both worlds. And I do have a few other acoustic guitars, but they hardly ever go anywhere. Those two are the ones I use. In electric guitars, I've got a hollow body made by Stella, which looks like a ES 335 or whatever. But it's sunburst, and it sounds great. I've got a SG for the rock and roll, Gibson SG. I've got this Les Paul copy for any Les Paul type stuff, and I've got my Strat, my Telly. And that's about it. That's what I use. That's what I bring with me on stage anyway. Here I'm playing on a Horner acoustic worth $25. I hear you, brother. Me too. $25 is a good price. I bought it new for $300, but it's banged up good. I like them banged up. If it ain't got a story to tell of its own, if it ain't a eye candy of itself, it don't go on stage with me. It's got to have something that makes people think about. You know what I mean? It's just got to have a quality to it, the way it looks. All I wanted was a gold top Les Paul and a tall stripper girlfriend. Careful what you ask for. What'd you get, a gold top girlfriend and a tall stripper guitar? Reverend Peyton plays blues and usually plays a steel body national. I wanted one of those for a long time. The stainless steel or aluminum alloy bodied guitars for bluegrass picking. I'd love to have one of those. But I've never heard of that guy. I'll look him up when the show's over. I'll check it out, see what he's made of. I love a good blues guitar player. My guitar has its own distortion sound. Not good for an acoustic, really. Yeah, that's strange. Why would your guitar have its own? Is it like a built-in preamp kind of thing, or are you making it funny? Or are you saying it buzzes? I just crashed my computer with a static shock. Oh no. It has the Chinese hump going. Oh, I got you. Need to adjust that neck and get it back straight again. Put a little relief in it. Sorry about your computer, Caucasian. That sucks, man. Maybe it'll pop back up and won't be damaged. Hopefully. You got to know that song, Jake. What song? Buzzing hard tops and bottom strings. Top is warped. I hear you. What song are you referring to, Walter Davis? It's back up. Good. Good. I was worried about that. I can slide a pick under the bridge. Wow. So the bridge is coming up too? So here's what you do. Take all the strings off of it. Get you a hair dryer and heat up that bridge until it comes off, pry it up with a butter knife or something. Sand it. Sand the area where it goes. Real careful not to scratch around it. Put some Elmer's wood glue on it and clamp that sucker down and get it back to where it's supposed to be. Once that's done, then take your Allen wrench and adjust that neck until it looks straight by looking down the end of it. Like hold the guitar up this way and look down the strings, and you look at the edge of the neck, and you'll be able to see the warp of it, and just keep adjusting until it's straight. And then when you put strings on it, it'll put a little relief, a little bend in it, just enough that your fingers can get up under the strings. Get that set up, and then you'll be back in business. And you might want to do a fret leveling. Like an arrow, yeah. I watch Rosa String Works on YouTube. Yeah, that's a good little show. I like that guy. He's real good at it. But he's kind of an old dude, and he's a little trembly. But he has some pretty nice guitars on there and stuff. Not worth my time. Mom just gave me her Yamaha. Well, there you go. Then hang it on the wall and look at it. And that's what you do with that then. Yamaha's better anyway. Did you say that one was a Honer? Not a Hofner, a Honer. Yeah. Yeah, I know about those. And the harmonies, and the K's. That's what I started on, that kind of garbage. I've got an actual guitar made by Sears and Roebuck. I have a Sears acoustic guitar in there. It's actually pretty. It don't sound very good, but it's pretty. I still play my owner more often. Okay. Then fix it. It is worth your time if you play it more often. Your instrument is only as good as the love you give it. For example, look at this beautiful thing. Solid mahogany, comfort cut, contoured neck joint, set neck, block inlays, rosewood fretboard, I would play this against anybody's Les Paul in the world and hold my own because I love this instrument. I put a lot of effort into making it what it is. It's all made, it's burnt, and it's got copper leaf on all the hardware. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if that's coming through or not. But it's all copper leaf. So it's got like an old barn look to it. See what I'm saying? It's just got an aesthetic. Feels like it's old. It's not old, but it feels old. And you got an old guy playing it, so. Ray Wiley Hubbard, Mother Blues. Yes, sir. Throw in the Ray Wiley Hubbard, sing along the Redneck Mother. Any blues I had before gone. That headstock is beautiful. Yes, sir. Thank you. Check it out. Let's see if I can get a better angle on it for you. There you go. It says Axel. That's the type of guitar it is. Axel, AXL. I thought it was AXE, but it's AXL. And it kind of looks like a chevron or something. See the logo? Kind of looks like a Route 66 sign or something like that. Even the tuning pegs are copper leaf. See the copper color? Anyway. The only thing I don't like about it is this horn right here. I'd prefer that to be more rounded. I don't like that, but I suppose if they didn't do that, they'd get sued by Gibson, because other than that, it's an exact copy of a Les Paul. In every way but the weight. It's not quite as heavy as a Les Paul. You can tell a lot about a guitar by the way it sounds naturally without any amplification. When they sound good. Can you hear that? That's a mark of a good guitar. I've got a little fret buzz on this one I need to work out. Probably needs a fret leveling job. Maybe a little readjusting. It's been through the cold winter. So that's why I brought it home. It usually stays over at the other band's house. Stays in the trailer or in the practice room. Like I said, this is my workhorse. Yeah, I do all my own fretwork and stuff. I learned how to do all that because I didn't want to pay somebody else to do it. I really wish that amp behind me was set up. I'd plug in and play you some stuff. But right around the 12th fret on this guitar, in this area, in the middle, there's a little fret buzz there. A little deadening. No, I have not watched Frailty yet. But I will. It's on my roster of things to do. I've been sick lately, so all the other things kind of went to the wayside there. But I will watch it. I am interested. I do want to see it. And I am a Bill Paxton fan, so, you know, I'm interested. And when I see it, I will tell you all about it, I promise. And I think next Wednesday, I'm going to do a little jamming for you guys. I'm going to set up the amp and get it all fuzzy and warm sounding and play some blues or something for you guys next Wednesday. And I get my singing back a little bit. I think you'll like it. I think I will too. When I saw the preview of it looked really good. It looked very intriguing and a nice take on that storyline. I hadn't quite seen it told like that before. It's like reverse exorcism. Or reverse exorcist, rather. Oh, it's going to rain tomorrow. Lovely. I was planning on working on my motorcycle tomorrow. I guess I'll stay in the house and play guitar. That sounds like a plan. What about you, Fab Daddy? What other kind of guitars you got? When did I find God? All my life. I've never not known about God. I haven't always been the best Christian in the world. I'm not the best Christian in the world right now, but, you know, I try. I try to do right, and I try to be good, try to be worth my word. I try to be a good friend and a good person. And I work hard, and I try to achieve what I try to achieve. And lots of praying. Common. Well, I'm not trying to be extraordinary. I'm just trying to get by. But I remember being a little boy, about 4 years old, telling my sister that one day I was going to be a preacher. I didn't know it then, but here I am. No, my parents never made me go to church. We went a few times when I was young, real young, like under 5, because it was a family thing. And then after that, we just kind of quit because they were kind of weird. I grew up in a Pentecostal church, and if you know anything about Pentecostal churches, those folks get a little freaky, speaking in tongues and running around, and that's not real. So we kind of backed away from that. And my mom's always talked about God and has always answered any questions I ever had and read the Bible to me and stuff like that. But she did not make me go to church. And I don't believe in God because of anybody. You know, I don't do it because mommy did it or because daddy forced me to do it or anything like that. I went when I was about 25 years old. I waited until I had a formal education because I knew I'd need it. So I went to college first. And I got some education in language and English and that sort of things. And then I tackled the Bible and I read it cover to cover. And I kept doing that. I mean, the more I dug, the more I learned, and the deeper I got, and the more things I found out, and the more things I tested. And one of the things I wanted to know is how we came by the Bible we got. Because it's written in English, and it looks pretty new and fashionable. So I wanted to know if this is the real thing or if we just made this nonsense up. So I traced it all back. And I found out that there are basically 3 branches of translatable texts that are worthy of being translated. There is the Alexandrian, there is the Antioch, and there is the, I can't remember what it was, where the Gutenberg came from. What is it? Anyway, there's 3. And the one that's important is the one that came from Antioch, because that's where Paul was writing at. And that's where a lot of this stuff occurred. And so I traced all of the translations to their sources, the Gutenberg and the New Revised and the King James. So, and what I discovered was that the Alexandrian and the other one that I can't remember the name of were not very reliable. They were contradictory, and they had quite a few problems with chain of custody and things being disappeared and found and that sort of thing. Meanwhile, the line that goes back to Antioch is a straight, clear line, and you can trace it with ease all the way to the 50 men that translated the King James Bible. And the way they did it was they were all locked in their room with a portion of the Bible and told to translate that to the best of their ability. And these were top men in that field. That's what they did. They were language historians. They were experts in the field of translating anything. So they each had a portion, 50 men locked in their rooms under guard. And when their translation was completed, that was then passed to the next room in this 50-room area. And that guy retranslated it and checked all of this guy's work. And this went through this process 50 times. And at the end of it, out comes the King James Bible with a foreword, a letter saying, look, we did the best we could under the circumstances and in our current height of education, but that doesn't mean we're absolutely 100% infallible, so be sure you check it for yourself, and that's why we have a thing called a concordance. Strong's 1611 is probably the best one you can buy, and I have a copy myself. And it's the most versatile, it's the most complete. It's a very good book, very well written, and very accurate to check the meanings of words and the etymology and the origins and things like that, and why they use those words, because there's a lot of creative choice in the words we use to replace words that they used, because their language isn't the same as ours. So there are some instances where you would have to put in a word that they wouldn't use because they don't use that word. So there's a certain amount of education that goes into guessing how that sentence structure goes out. That's why there's italicized words in the Bible. Anything that's italicized was added by the translator because it wasn't in the original text, or it was different in the original text in a way that they couldn't translate it properly. But there you go. That's where I got my education from. Just learning. I just wanted to know. There's no other reason for it than that. If that education thereby can help someone else, that's great. Then it did two jobs. It satisfied my curiosity, and it helped you. I can't argue with that. That's good results. But that was never the intention. I just wanted to know for myself, what the truth was. And I'm a big stickler about truth. I got to know what reality is. I don't like being lied to, and I don't like living in a false world full of false things. I like to know exactly what's up. And the best way to do that is to have a firm grasp on the Bible and understand what you're reading. And that's why we do what we do here. And I hope that that's a sufficient answer, because that's the best one I got for you. Hey, kiddies, boys and girls, friends of all ages, won't you do me a favor, please, while you're sitting here listening to me wax rhapsodic about biblical curiosities? Hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon so you get notifications of when I'm going to be online. Smash that like button. It's free. It's right in front of you. It's effortless, and it really does help the channel with the algorithms. Helps us get recommended to other people. Won't you please do that for me? Share this video with people you love. Better yet, share it with people you don't love. Bring them into the family. Make them part of the fold. Be part of their solutions and not part of their problems. Leave comments down below. Let me know what you're thinking about. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confront me, conform with me, drink my Kool-Aid. Hey, make your own Kool-Aid as long as you're thinking critical. That's what we're after. We want you to think critical with that brain of yours. And if you dig what I'm doing and you can see the value in what I'm trying to create and you'd like to be part of that, you'd like to help out in some small way, or if you feel led to send your tithes, offerings, or love offerings to the church where you are taught, you can do that. You can go to paypal.me/jakejohnsonband if you wish to contribute to the effort. Or if you're a CashApp user, go to $JakeJohnsonBand. Every little bit helps. It's a win-win. It's a blessing to me that you care so deeply and that you want to contribute. And you must know that this program and everything that I do is brought to you by viewers just like you. If you don't contribute, the content doesn't come. It's as simple as that. I can't live for free. I can't work for free. But I will work regardless because the message needs to get out. People need to hear the truth. And if you feel good about that, then I appreciate it. If you don't, I don't want your money. I only want it if you want to give it. So it's as simple as that. If you feel like you want to help make this a better space for more people or for yourself, then by all means, please do. I'll accept graciously. If you don't want to, nobody's asking you to. Only between you and God. If you and God think it's a good idea, I think it's a good idea. If you don't, keep listening. It's free. And with that, I will do my best to take all of your questions and comments and give you some kind of satisfactory answer to all of it, because that's how I roll here at Untethered Live. I do apologize for the scratchiness in my voice. I am recovering from a month-long sickness, it seems like. But I'm getting there. I'm doing better. I'm feeling better. A little tired. Not going to lie. A little bit groggy today. But that's okay. I will get rest and I will bounce back like a baby beach ball, beaming, bursting, bouncing, bowling, careening across the beach backwards. You bested. Have you ever read a different Bible? I've glanced through some of them. I've never committed my memory to any of it. I've looked into other Bibles. I've read enough to see where the differences were in the Revised, for example. Comparing, with Old Faithful in one hand and it in the other. And reading text to text, you'll find real quick there's a lot different. I've looked into the Mormon Bible. I've looked into the Islamic Bible. I've looked into the Satanic Bible. I've looked at lots of things. But the only one I've ever really focused on, really studied, was King James. And that's a choice. It wasn't by accident. Yeah, I said the Islamic Bible, the Quran. I haven't read a lot of it, though. But most of it is basically the same thing as our Bible. The first 5 books, the laws of Moses, they're in there. It gets a little weird in the middle and the end, but the faith does change. They're basically from the same origin, but they go down 2 completely different paths. And they end up at 2 completely different results. So, who's right, who's wrong? Only God knows the answer to that. But he said that he would leave a book for everybody to have access to. Everybody. And that it would always be there. Well, if that's true, if God did leave a book that everybody can have access to, and that will always be here, that is directly, divinely inspired by him himself, written by men but inspired by God, if that's true, I want to hold it. Where's it at? Well, guess what? It's the King James Bible, because it's the one that's the most prolific. To this day, no other literary device has ever been outsold the King James Bible. It is the best-selling book in existence ever. Always has been, always will be. All other literary works stand on the shoulders of it. Without it, there are no other literary works, including the other Bibles. That's why I know it's the right one. So, in the end, it is a choice. That's what faith is about. You have to make a choice. I made mine. What say you? Have I made an argument compelling enough for you to make the same choice? And if I have, that's wonderful. I did my job correctly. What do you think? Is that a good enough answer for that one? Have you ever read other Bibles? What do you think of them? Did they grab you like the Bible does? Because every time you read the Bible, you come away with something you didn't have before you started. And I don't know how it does that, because it's just a collection of words that don't change. They're always there. Yet every time you read them, you get something else out of it. And it's usually the thing you're looking for. It's amazing. It's the only book that can claim that. Thanks for answering. I am enlightened. Well, thank you, sir. And you're welcome. It's my pleasure, my privilege, my honor, my grace to be your guide into the cosmos of creation. I like it. If I just had some theme music when I said that, that'd have been great. All right, boys and girls. What do you want to do now? We talked about guitars. We talked about Bibles. We talked about Elvis impersonators. We talked about sickness and health till death do you part. What do you want to do now? And Fab Daddy, you seem to be the only one carrying on the conversation, so it's your call. I think everybody else is pretty much checked out for some reason. I must be really boring tonight. I apologize. I am sick. Leave me alone. Cut me some slack, Jack. We are going to have a good Sunday night, though. I'm going to make up for last weekend when I was sick and couldn't make it Monday. We're going to get through Book of Numbers, and it's shaping up to be quite the story. I don't mind the one-on-one. I don't either. I don't care. I'd like for us to have more numbers, but it's nice to just chit-chat with one person. I do appreciate that. But as a podcast runner, I'd like to see that number jacked up to about 5,000. But, you know, I've been reading the King James for a long time, says Walter Davis. That's good, Walter. That's good. You keep reading it. And you keep reading it until you understand it. And if you don't understand it, put it on a shelf and come back to it later. But keep reading. Yeah, I can talk to myself for hours. As long as you don't start answering yourself, you're good. Or are you saying that you can do this because I'm not interesting as you are by yourself? I am half asleep. I got half my brain tied behind my back. Come on, I'll take you on one on half. I hope you guys are having a good time. I hope you're enjoying the conversation. I know it's not the most elegant one, but it's here. On time and ready to roll at 8:30 on a Friday night. We do need to figure out some kind of outreach to do, though. We need to get these numbers up. If I'm going to keep doing this, I need to start growing a little bit. So I'm open to any suggestions. No, not that. It's usually because I can control chat sometimes. Well, you can control chat all you want. But you don't want to be a moderator, so I hadn't thought about making you one. Writing words is cathartic. Yeah, I like to write. I write an article every now and then. I don't really know what to do with it because I don't have an outlet for just writing, but there's no real rhyme or reason for my writings. It's all over the place. I might be writing about the color blue, or I might write an op-ed based on the letter P, or, whatever. Who knows? I might write a short story about a cowboy, a comedy, cowboy comedy. But I love to write, and I'm pretty good at it, and I would like to find an outlet for it. Figure out some kind of way to use it to our benefit. Walter says, I was thinking today, Jesus said, let no one come between you and my Father, when he said, I am the way. Do you think he meant do like Jesus did, or through Jesus as the Son of God, him being God? I've been driving, pulling over to comment. All right, let me think. Jesus said, before Abraham was, I am. That's a very particular statement. That is not a grammatical error. He is claiming to be God Almighty, or at least his spirit is. He himself was a man in the flesh. He lived, he died, he lived like a man. And he showed the example of how to live. He didn't sin. He wasn't tempted. He lived a good, clean life in service his whole life. And the best you can do is to be in service for your life. That's what makes life worth living. Then he said something to the effect of, I am the truth, the way, and the life. Meaning you can't have life without the truth and the way. This is how you do it. He's saying, look at me as the example. So he's saying, do as I do, or try to do as I do. He's also saying he doesn't expect you to succeed because you are flesh. Flesh is broken. Flesh is born sinful. There's nothing you can do about it. You are a sinner. Even if you're the most pure, most righteous man alive, you are a sinner just because you have flesh, if for no other reason. So, what Jesus is telling you to do is to live like he lives. That means to make decisions like he makes. That means to put other people first. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Care for the children and the widows and the poor. And try to do right. Try to follow the 10 Commandments. Try to be honest. Try to be integral. Try to have virtue. Try to have your word have weight by being a man of your word, by keeping your promises, by making commitments and keeping them, by trusting your Father, and let nobody or no thing come between you and your Father's relationship. That means you pray to God. How do you do that? Jesus gave you an example for that too. He said, this is how you do it. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. For thine is the kingdom, the glory, and the power forever. That's how you pray. You pray for God, to God, about God. It's as simple as that. I say, Jake says, talk to God like he's your buddy. Talk to him just like you talk to me. But talk to him. Open up a dialogue. Tell him what's on your mind. He's God, he already knows, yes, but it doesn't hurt to say it out loud. If you don't confess with your mouth, it doesn't count. You have to confess with your mouth. Talk about the sins you've committed. Ask for forgiveness. Ask how he's doing. Ask what you can do for him. Be of service. And that will always end up in your favor. That will lend your life towards a better way of living. It will give you more comfort. It will give you more strength. It will give you the perseverance to get through anything. And it usually will solve your problems if you just serve someone. Be of service. Don't be scared to get your hands dirty. Don't be scared to do a little work. But be nice and be ready and have an answer. If somebody comes up to you and asks a question about the Bible, have an answer prepared for any question. Never, ever turn somebody away that's asking about God. That is your job, to testify about God. And if you do that, then you are living like Jesus wanted you to live. You are living for God. I hope that's a good answer to the question. I hope I understood the question as you intended it. And there you go. And yes, Jesus is God in the flesh, or at least a portion of his spirit, or his spirit entirely is God. Another thing I can add to that, the thing about loving your neighbor. You don't have to get all up in somebody's business to love them. You can love somebody from a distance. But what that means is to consider the person next to you. Consider their feelings. Consider their needs. Consider their desires. Consider what's wrong with them. Consider what makes them happy. And be willing to be part of that process. If you see someone in need and you have a means of fixing that, then by all means fix it. And that's not going to save the world, but you might make that person's life a little better. And that's beautiful. And that's something that person will never forget. Have a great night, Jake. Catch you later, Fab Daddy. I love you, brother. I'll see you Sunday night. Be safe. I'm about to get out of here, too. I'm going to go to bed. I'm about to fall asleep on you guys. Been a long week. Very little sleep. Walter, I hope that was a good answer. Please join me Sunday night where we can talk in depth about Jesus and God and all that goes on in the Bible. And I will answer all your questions. I always will. And if I don't have an answer, I'll go find one. And I'll bring it to you. If I don't understand the question, I'll research it until I do. And then I will answer it. Good answer. Thanks. You're welcome, sir. It's my pleasure. It's my honor. It's my grace. I can't wait to do more of it. I hope you guys are having a great night. I hope you have a good weekend and you're all safe and happy and you burn the town down, paint it red, whatever it is you guys do out there in the world. Do it with gusto. I love you true from the bottom of my heart. I do. Take care of yourselves and each other. Lean on your Father. Make a friend out of him. Talk to him. That's what he wants. He wants a relationship with you. And why would you deny him that after he gave you all of this? So talk to him. Tell him what's up. Tell him what's on your mind. And when you go out into the world and you encounter other people, be nice. Smile as you pass a stranger. Help an old lady across the street. Hold the door for a lady. Buy a bum a sandwich. Whatever it is you do, be nice. And I promise you it'll change your life. It'll change your life from the inside out. It will cause your inner light to begin to shine. You will utterly effervesce, and everyone will take notice. Some might even mention it. Hey, what's going on with you? Are you doing all right? Are you on a new diet? Did you get your hair cut? What's up? Are you smoking crack again? They probably won't say that, but unless they're looking to score, in which case you got other problems. But the point is, people will notice. It will open doors for you that you didn't even know were available to you. It will bring people into your orbit that you desperately need in your orbit, because life isn't worth living without people around you. You need people, and people need you. So how do they know that you're the guy they can trust? Because you let your light shine. You prove that God's words are true with every action you make in this world, good and bad. But be a force for good. Be the guy or girl who has the right answer. Thank you for being here and making the chat so interesting and having such great questions and comments. I love you, and I will see you guys on Sunday at 8 o'clock sharp Eastern Standard Time right here on Untethered Live. Thank you so much for being here, and thanks for watching.